Hello, YouTube land. If we can't get somebody on here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Anybody out there? There we go. Finally got some. What's up, Mike? Big Mike. Florida in the house. What's up, Curtis? My man. Countdown's coming, ain't it, Mike? Did you say he's going to be here the 7th? What's going on in Mexico? That's what I was wanting to talk about. Boy, that's crazy, ain't it? They're burning it down. I think the last I seen this morning is 73 people dead. They just went ape shit. That's another, folks. I love Mexico. I really, when I couldn't come here because of the pandemic or whatever, I went to Mexico and I love it there. I really do. I love the people. But that's one good thing about being in the Philippines, folks. I know it can get hairy. It can get hairy there in Mexico. I seen on the news they had a map, even my part of Mexico. Quintana Roo, Playa del Carmen, Cancun, all those places. That's where that's my stomping ground or whatever. But they're in a advisory too. All those Americans are around Puerto Vallarta, just probably hunkered down, hoping and praying that they make it out of there because them cartels ain't no joke. Last time I was there, I went. Well, last time I was home, I went and spent about 2 weeks. Just went and said hi to my people and damn mosquito. But there was an uprising then, and it was mainly because of too many foreigners living in Mexico, mainly around the Mexico City neighborhood. I got a mosquito. It's pissing me off. But yeah, mainly around the Mexico City part, and they was rioting. Kind of scary, wanting the foreigners out, just because gentrification or whatever. But this deal's a little crazier. Yep, going to be there the 7th. Oh, land the night. Yep, 2-day flight. Mike, I think you got lucky. I think you caught a pretty affordable flight. Hell, flights went up. I told you mine was like $900 for one way. You got yours for probably about half that for a round trip, didn't you? Howdy, Mr. Oliver Rust. How you doing? Simply Social. Cartel 40K Army that grew during the Big On administration for 4 years. No one did anything. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. Even when I was living in Cancun, I say living, I lived there a few months, but there was always a military presence, knowing that something could pop off at any time. It just kind of, I don't know. It wasn't, some people said, well, they're there to protect you. Well, I didn't feel protected. I felt like, even on the beaches, or even in I seen Costco's on fire. I remember there was the first time I was in Mexico, I seen the military with the pickups with the machine guns and shit on top, and Brenda was taking us somewhere. I think it was to Costco, and there was some big drug bust or something there, and she told me, said, yeah, that's probably what that was. And I said, well, yeah, that don't freak y'all out seeing all these military dudes with machine guns? And she said, no, it's pretty much everyday life around here. And I got used to it, but it didn't make me feel no better, especially when I was on the beach. I was on the beach and them guys carrying M16s around. You're thinking, what the hell? Then you hear about the cartels coming up and just coming up on boats and just assassinating people on the beach. Usually it was always another drug cartel or something to do. You know, they was picking their targets, not like they was targeting tourists. But on a couple of occasions they did. I know at Playa del Carmen there was 2 or 3 people that got caught up in the gunfire. Killed one lady, like a 60-year-old American lady, and it's no place to be. Puerto Morelos is a great little town. That's my favorite. That's my go-to, McLovin. I lived there for a month, and like I said, right during the middle of the pandemic, so I had the whole beach side to myself. It was awesome, but at the same time, it was boring because, like I say, what was going on. So it was a bad time. But ever since then, I go back every time. That place has grown so much. It's just really come to life. So I'm proud of all them people getting to finally getting some good out of it, because not many people go to Puerto Morelos, but it's getting more and more popular now. It's a secret that's getting out. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Hope all is well. Matt, I'll be coming to see y'all probably in May. Brent, what other country would you consider if you was not going to Asia? Well, that's my deal. The 2 countries that I picked was, of course, the Philippines is where I wanted to come, but I couldn't for 2 or 3 years, so I picked Mexico, and Colombia was my next one. But now the more homework I do on Colombia, the less. There's no way in hell you could even pay me to go there now, I don't think, with all the corruption or what. Just hell, you have to worry about your drinks getting spiked, or you getting drugged and robbed, and hell, wake up without your damn kidneys and all that, and plus lots of other things to consider. But just super dangerous. And that's what I love about the Philippines is I think I felt uneasy one time in the Philippines, and that was in a big city walking around. But, you know, I'm not saying that it won't happen, but I feel safe here. I really do. And even when I was living in Mexico or whatever, or when I was there, you know, after dark, I'm getting my ass to the house. That's part of it. And I hear about all these scams and setups about how the corruption, the police or whatever, they'll try to get you for this or that or whatever. That's one problem that I've never had, because, like I say, no matter what country I'm in, I usually have my ass in at dark. I'm not one of these that go to bars or hang out in places that I shouldn't. So, but those were my top 3: Mexico, Colombia, and the Philippines. And since I got a little taste of Southeast Asia, I don't think nowhere even comes close to. My deal was I wanted the cost of living to be, you know, as low as possible, just to live on my little bitty income. So that's what I was focused on. And back then, Colombia was cheap, Mexico was cheap, and the Philippines was cheap. Well, like I said, Mexico was so cheap the first several times I went, just because people were still scared to travel. I went right in the middle, right smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. I mean, I was one of the only ones thinking about traveling. But as the times went on, every time I go, it's just higher and higher and higher and higher. And that last time, I was like, this is the same as the United States for me. Hey, did the recent volcano eruption have any effects? It didn't on me. You know, of course, everybody sent me the pictures and all that. And that's more around on the other side of the island, so it didn't affect me at all. But just I think that same volcano's blew 2 or 3 times since I've been here, and I had never. I mean, I never even seen ash or nothing like that. So I'm sure it did to the people in that area. But like I said, hell, this island's probably 100 miles long. I'm just guessing, and I didn't see any effects on it. I upgraded parts of my flights and picked the seats, and it was 1,500. Yeah, but that's round trip, right? That's still pretty reasonable, I think, if you get the seats you want. Booked my flights this past weekend for the end of May, East Coast with a connection in Abu Dhabi to Manila. Watched a flight. I've cost around 851 way, but jumped on a flight for 450 plus 60. That's pretty cheap. That's about what they should be, Steve. That's. I used to see flights around that price. Of course, it was usually like Zip Air or Starlux or somebody like that. But that's pretty good price, and only $60 for seat upgrades. That's real good because hell, some of them want. I think even Philippine Airlines wants like $120 for a good exit row seat. Or Puerto Morelos was one of the places blown up. Am I saying that right? Is that supposed to say Puerto Morelos, or is that what it's supposed to say, Puerto Arelis? Oh no, not Colombia. LOL, I did that. It's dangerous, dangerous. Yeah, Mike didn't make it there 2 days without getting robbed. I tried to warn him. I said, "You better be careful," because I've seen too many YouTube videos about them, and them women will drug your ass. I mean, drug you and take everything, because even your clothes. Because if you ain't got no clothes, you can't get out to report their ass. So it's just, and it's not like they're going to go hunt them down anyway. The Philippines is paradise on earth. I absolutely love it here. I agree. There's lots of things that get on my nerves, Curtis, but at the end of the day, this is a place that I want to be. You know what you're getting. Of course, we sit here and gripe about little things. No matter where I'm at, I'd be griping about something. But that's just the way it is here. I went to immigration yesterday, got my extension. I did a 2-month extension, and that's one of the things I was griping about. Is like, why do I got to get a 2-month extension when I'm only going to be here for a month and 4 days? Well, that's the reason. Is because even though you're here 4 days, you still got to pay for a month. How's my diet coming? I am not losing no weight. I keep changing my diet no matter what day it is. Like I made that big old pot of chili, and I put beans in it. So I'm like, well, hell, I can't say I can't say I'm not on carbs, but I have got to where I've just been trying to eat once a day. I'll just trying to eat supper, which makes it hard because as soon as I say that, Trina goes to cooking. She'll cook. I swear she wants me fat, folks. I swear that's what it's about. But my deal is I hadn't been able to sleep here lately. I've had my days and nights mixed up and all that crap, and so I'll do good throughout the day, and then I'll eat supper, and then about midnight, 2 o'clock, I'll be in there scrummaging through the refrigerator looking for a snack. And so right now, I'm still around 248 pounds, but I don't know. I'm trying to do good. It just ain't happening, folks. I don't know. I've never had a problem losing weight like I have this time, and it's starting to get me down, starting to make me worry. Oliver Rust with $5 in the house. Hey, I appreciate it, Oliver. You are the man. I appreciate the shit out of that. Adventures with Jim said the place is full of pollution and dirt. Yeah, but he's angry, folks. I mean, you got to remember where that's coming from. He's angry. He's got them court cases, and he feels like he got screwed over, and he probably did. But everybody could see that coming. I mean, I can't believe he came back actually to face the charges. And before he did, he's like, "Yeah, it's no big deal. They're putting all these charges on me just to they're not going to mount to it." Well, that's the reason they did, and he's just screwed. He can either stay here and fight and not be able to, and they know he's needing money, so there's nothing he could do. So he finally got mad and left. But him saying that it is pollution and full of dirt, well, there's no difference between here and Cambodia. I mean, it's the same crap, and that's all he was talking about, how good Cambodia was. And the whole time he was in Cambodia, he couldn't wait to get back over here. He didn't say that, but I mean, you know, we can read between the lines. We're in the Philippines for a newcomer. I don't do bars, smoking, coastal community. I like here. I like Dumaguete. I like Boho. You know, not necessarily Dumaguete if you're looking for the beaches or whatever, but up there where Down lives, which is about 30 minutes from here, or probably 20 minutes. Darwin, Bakong, there's all kinds of nice beaches there, and you're still right next to Dumaguete. Boho's a good place. Boho's, I really like that island. I don't know if you're a city guy or what. Everybody, you just got to come dip a toe. You really do. You got to get a feel for it. You got to get a vibe, because you can see, watch all these videos and whatever, but you just gotta. And you could go to the same place 100 times and get 100 different, you know, experiences out of it. So that, I hate to tell you, you know, definite without, you know, we're all different, and even I could say something today and feel totally different about it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Yes, Puerto Reales was an airport blew up. Plane terminals also show the resort being burned up. Yeah, that's crazy. I seen Costco's, I seen airplanes, I seen buses, I heard gunshots. I mean, it was crazy. I couldn't. I've got, you know, Brent and them, which they're safe. They're Mexican or whatever. But my other buddy that I met through them, Larry, he's about 70 years old, and he's been thinking about coming to the Philippines just because shit's got crazy over there, and he could kind of see some of this was. Not that this particular deal was going to pop off, but it's just been getting, you know, the prices have gone up. Plus, it's just, I don't know. He's been over there probably 5 years anyway. I think he showed it. Matter of fact, he took over my room when I left, but then he's moved out and got his own place. So. But we still stay in touch, and he's been definitely thinking about coming over here. I plan to relocate full time, 55-year-old. I don't think you'll have any regrets. I really don't. How did you meet your Filipina? I met her on a dating site, Tinder, I think. I met her on Tinder, and I don't recommend using Tinder, because you should have seen the ones I had to go through before I finally, you know, met somebody that was real, and somebody that was, you know, wasn't asking me for money and all that other crap. Hey, not sure if you saw my video comment about getting fresh milk from Dumaguete area. I did, but I can't remember where you told me, Seven Riley. Somewhere up around Valencia, wasn't it? Did you guys get any fallout from the volcano? No, I hadn't. Like I said, I didn't even couldn't even see it in the sky or whatever. But of course, I'm probably, like I said, 75 miles away or whatever. And the pictures I saw, it didn't really shoot way up in there. It just kind of blew out. So that's really the only pictures I've seen of it. It wasn't one of them that just totally exploded. So of course she wants you fluffy. Yeah, she just don't. I don't know if she wants me fluffy or she don't want anybody else wanting me. I think it's more the. Have you added exercise, even lightweight? Stick with it. You can do it. I'm gonna stick with it, but now I've been getting that. I say that. When I go to do something, I overdo it. So when I go out to exercise, hell, I've walked 3 miles twice, and like I say, hell, I'll go do that big workout, and I say I'm gonna do that every day, and then for 2 or 3 days I don't feel like doing shit. So I'm like, and I can't really do the weights. I don't know. Let me take that back. I'd always just do like push-ups and stuff, and ever since I've had this surgery, once I started kind of getting a little bigger and thinking, this ain't gonna work, I went to trying doing some push-ups, and my doctor had me on like a 5-10 pound weight limit. and they never did take me off. And I got to thinking, well, hell, they probably just forgot to take me off. So while I've been over here, I said I'm gonna try to do some push-ups. And when I did, I got down in a little push-up stance, and I felt something in my, not where my major hernia surgery was, but down a little lower around my belly button. I've got two big old knots now, and so I hadn't really, I knew this wasn't the place for none of that to go down. I don't think it's anything serious, because like I said, it's around my belly button. But I'm like, yeah, I probably don't need to be doing that. So, but they do have a gym over here. I could probably do some dumbbells or something like that, but I just don't have the core strength to do any push-ups or sit-ups or anything like that. Hi, James. How you doing? Gee, Lucy, thank you. The last few videos of Jim's Asian adventure were unwatchable. He complained about the Philippines as a shithole. He needs to make better choices. Yeah, and that's, I like old Jim. He's likable as hell. I really hate that, but yeah, he kind of does it to himself, and I don't know. He's just pretty lucky that because he kind of trashes the Philippines pretty good. He claims he's never coming back. Maybe that may be why. But I mean, that's the best way of not being welcome here is, just totally trash the place. So, have you found a hobby yet? Try to find one to get your heart rate up. Yeah, well, I've discovered a golf course. I hadn't went and played it yet, but I drove down to the golf course the other day, and the guy gave me a little tour. So I plan on doing some golfing. But they'll rent clubs, but I may. The course looked pretty nice for a Philippines, a little Dumaguete course, and so I may need to go do that. I love golf. Of course, I'll probably have to walk it. I think they said they had 2 carts, and their idea of a golf cart's not even a real full-size golf cart. It's these little, I don't know, they're about half the size of a golf cart, but I plan on doing that, and keep saying I'm going to go diving. Aaron said something about doing some diving, but he's putting it off another month. I think his money's funny at the moment, so as of now, that's really what I got on the radar is golf. I'm moving there in mid-April, thinking about Down or Sibulon. I prefer to be a little out of the city. Which do you prefer? And if you want to work out an accountability partner, I'm down. Okay, Eric. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. I pretty much. This is called Pulan Tubig, but the Sibulon Airport's about a mile down the road. I mean, I'm super close. I live kind of by the city mall here, which is, just right down the road from Sibulon Airport. Dowling is an awesome place. That's where Aaron's at. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Now, there is a Sibulon on further down the road from here that they call it, which is kind of crazy. I've always called Sibulon where the airport is, but if you keep on going for about probably 3 or 4 kilometers, there's another little community called Sibulon here. It's weird. Valencia's got the same deal. There's like a Valencia proper, and then about 3 or 4 kilometers, there's another little Valencia. So depending on which one you're talking about, but I don't think you can go wrong either way. Katrina looks like an actress. Yeah, well, she'll be glad to hear that. Somebody once put on there that she looked like Sophie. I can't remember her last name, but she said something about Sophie, and she was mad. She thought somebody was talking shit or whatever. And I showed her a picture of Sophie. Oh, she was just so tickled. She was showing that to everybody. Look, I look like her. But she got a kick out of that. Hi, Brent. Name's Paul from Tasmania, Australia. I have spent a week in Lapu Lapu now and Davao City for a few days planning on going to Dumaguete. Is there much accommodation there, Brent? Cheers, Paul. Yeah, there's plenty. You can find anything you want here. You can find from $18 a night hotels to, the sky's the limit. You won't have any problem, I don't think, having any trouble finding accommodation. Just get on Agoda or Booking. I always use Agoda, and you can get whatever you want. And from here to anywhere on Negros. Just get on there and type where you want to go, and they'll get you squared away. There's a good barbecue place in Santander. Really, I took the ferry to Santander. I think that's right. Cebu, is that what, or is it Santander on this end and something else on that end? I've been to Santander. I just remember taking the ferry. I don't know if that's on Negros or Cebu, but I know when I took that ferry, I wound up there one time. But I was on a mission trying to get trying to catch the ferry. So boardwalk barbecue hop on the fast craft. Fast craft seemed like when I went to Santander, I thought I took the roll on roll off, which was I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking different. You get bad storm where you're at. No, we're kind of protected. Hell, they take out of school all the time for like typhoons and stuff. But it so far, knock on wood, so far we had never got nothing but not even a hard rain. Just kind of got wind kind of picked up a little bit, but nothing like what you'd think on hurricane type storm. Get the weight off first, then exercise. Diet is 90% of it. Yeah. But man, I keep thinking this shit would start falling off by now, because I torture myself. I'm not eating, so I try to get used to this 1 meal a day, and then I go to thinking, hey, I've got this. I don't want it to go to waste. You know, last time I just bought a loaf of bread, so I was like, man, I don't want that loaf of bread to go. Whether I'd be out $1, be out $2, something like that. Instead, pickleball. Yeah, there is pickleball all over here. That offer for pickleball is still good from Matone. All right, Rob, I keep saying I'm going to buy some paddles. I hadn't done it yet, but hell, there's pickleball all around me, and that's something that I'd definitely be down to do. I just hadn't done it. Boom, folks, we got 62 in the chat. Hey, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me this morning. It's good that everything is okay now. All you have to do is just take care of it. Yeah, but that's what's scaring me, because I think, and then like I say, I've done it before. I just got to get I got to get focused and stay with it. But yeah, it seems like as soon as it goes to falling off, you know, I don't know, it's easier when you see results. But when I just keep getting hung in a limbo, and y'all think I'm complaining, and I am. She makes it hard on me. I just mentioned a diet, and I told her that. I've been telling her that for a month and a half, 2 months, hell, probably 3 months. And I get serious about it, and I'll get about 2 days in from like when I'm going to do the carnivore or the keto, more keto because I like vegetables and stuff. But as soon as I say that, she'll be down there whipping up chocolate pancakes or you know what I mean? Hello, Ken. How you doing? I'm up for golf. Well, we'll have to go check it out. Like I say, I'd like to play around, see what it's all about, and if it's decent, then I'll probably try to invest in some clubs or something like that, because I think they probably rob you if you just you know, I ain't trying to go down there and have to rent clubs for $20 every time I play. So if it's as good as I think it will be, and I think it'll be all right. So I'll have to get me some clubs. Hello, Brent. Wish you all the best in the Philippines. I love your channel because you're real. Hey, I appreciate it, Gary. Appreciate you watching. Are you certified diver, or will you need to get that done? I'll have to go through the whole thing. I've never dove, not a day in my life. I started to do this about 3 years ago, or the first time I come to the Philippines, and like I said, I was this close to signing up, and I went and hit Bohol for a weekend, and while I was in Bohol or Panglao, they had a dive accident over there, and they hauled ass up to the beach with this guy that was a diver. Matter of fact, he was an instructor, and I don't know if he made it or not, but the ambulance came pick him up, and I thought, yeah, I think I'm good on this diving. Hit that like, thank you, Johnny. Hell yeah, yo, hit the like button, fellas. I like your videos. I appreciate it, James. I really do. Hello from Harrisburg, Louisiana, USA. Bayou Brian's in the house. Glad you could join us, Brian. It makes my day when Katrina is in your vlog. She seems very happy all the time. She is. She's a dandy, folks. She really is. She could have fun at a funeral. It's she just I don't know. She just picks you up when you want to do nothing but complain. You just look at her and see her get tickled over some of the silliest shit. She's just a lot of fun. After you eat, 15 minutes, take a walk. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I know, folks. I promise you, I know what I need to be doing. It's just doing it. You know what I mean? I just got to stay motivated. Dive in place and down for $400. 2 days in the pool, then 2 days diving around the islands is what I learned. Side Effects Diving on Facebook is the place. Yeah, that's right next to AA Ron. So that's what we was looking into too. The time I was going to do it, I was going to go through that Justin, that critter hunter. He had that place at Sierra Hotel or whatever, Sierra Resort. And I was going to do it through him. Of course, this has been a few years ago, and I think it was around 300 then. I'm sure it's probably went up. Everything always does. So that's probably. I bet it's kind of the same rate. You know, we're pretty close ballpark. Brent, have you been to Cebu City for 7 months? Oh, I have been in Cebu City for 7 months. Do you recommend Dumaguete as a better place to retire when it comes to cost and more peaceful? Thanks. Yeah, Doug, I really do. I'm not a city guy though, and Dumaguete is the next best thing. I mean, it's actually if you live in the Philippines, you know about the density. I think there's 100 and something thousand people here. So it feels like a city without being a city, really. You know, all of them people are packed into one small, I don't know how many square miles here, but I wouldn't say very many. But I lived in Cebu City for a month, and I had to get the hell out of there. Matter of fact, I was there about 2 weeks, and then I said, screw this. I flew to Dumaguete, and I just went on about a 10-day adventure, just trying to. I was new to the area too. I'd never been to Cebu City before, and I got off the plane. I think it was the second time that I moved here permanent, and I just went straight and got a condo, thinking, I'll like it. I had a mall right across the street. I thought, this would be all the guy wants, but I had to get out of there, folks. I really did. And as soon as I come back to Dumaguete and got out in nature, I thought, I'm not a city guy. Grandkids just around the corner, brother. Yep, Christopher. I talked to my granddaughter. As a matter of fact, I was going to immigration yesterday, and she called me on video messenger or whatever, right when I was about halfway. So I had to pull over right. I had the Filipino on the back. Sun blaring straight down. So I sat there and talked to her for about 5 minutes while we was sitting in the sun. And she'd been making cinnamon rolls, and she's got to where she just talks up a storm. And my next one, like you say, it'll be here in May. So I'm really tickled about it. I really am. Good to hear about the golf, Brent. I had my first round there. It's easy walk, 9 holes, very flat, 1,300 pesos, and a golf club. I'm in Bayawan, so I'm going to play every week if you want. Yeah, like I say, let me check it out. I'm gonna get my butt over there and walk it, and if I like it, that's probably something that I'll be. I don't know. I get really focused and get that tunnel vision. And I'm kind of scared of getting that golf bug again, because like back in Oklahoma, hell, when I'd get that golf bug in me, it was every day, and I spent wasted a lot of time on the golf course. Of course, that was back when I drank beer and stuff like that too. So hell, we'd be out there putting till midnight, just lock up for the. They'd say, well, y'all just lock up. And I kept my golf cart out there and everything else. So. I don't want to get that dedicated or that, you know what I mean? Boom! Somebody hit me with $19, $20 bill. Hey, Brent, hope everything is good. Do you know what the best port to sail into is. I should be there in October. Appreciate you, Skull of Fenders. To port to sail into, I'd say the main Dumageddon port. I guess I think we've only got two here, here in Dumageddon. The one, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that goes to the port of Santander or whatever. Like I say, I can't remember if it's on this side or that side. But then the main Dumageddon port, and I know it'll take you to Cebu, it'll take you to Siquijor, it'll take you to Dapitong or Dapitan, however you say that in Mindanao, Boho. So it's the only places I've ever took it was Siquijor and the Boho. But yeah, I think that's as good a bet as any. I'm gonna write that down, folks, before I forget this. Before I forget who's hooked me up, so I can give y'all a shout out. Oliver. Thank you, Oliver. I appreciate you too, bud. Where was I? I visited BGC, Makati, Pasaya, Cebu, Boho, Surigao, Siquijor, Mindanao, and Dumageddon. Awesome, Steve. I've been to all of those except for I've never been to Surigao and I've never been to Mindanao. Keep saying I'm going to, but I never have. Surigao, I don't know so much. You know, it's such a pain in the ass to get over there. It was high on my list, but after going to El Nido and Coron and Boracay, I'm thinking, shit, I'm not a surfer, so I'm like, hell, I've got beach. There's every island you're on, there's beaches. So I'm not. If it was just an easy flight instead of having to jump through hoops to get there in one of the higher dollar ones, best I remember looking it up, it looked like it was kind of one out of the way type deal or a slower pace type deal. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get there eventually, hopefully, but I don't think I'm going to go out of my way. But I would like to do the Mindanao deal. Where did you go in Mindanao? Did you go to Davao or did you go? I'd like to hit Ozama City and CDO and those places. And I'd like to check out Davao. I really would. I was surprised Duma was the best. It is for me. I really do. I like it. It's probably because it's familiar to me. But you can find everything you want's here pretty much. We've got a couple of mall, or really one main mall, and of course if you want to buy definitions, we've probably got 3 or 4 or 5 malls or whatever. But mainly one, we've got a mall. We got everything you need. The only knock really on Dumageddon is probably the having to fly to Cebu or to Manila to get anywhere. You know what I mean? Unless I think that's the 3 places. I think once a week or twice a week, something like that. I think you can fly to Iloilo. Other than that, you got to go to Cebu and Manila to get anywhere. So, Mike of Mike's Philippine Retirement, did he and his wife split up? I don't know. I'd hate to say because I've heard rumors of that, but I don't know. I'm not in that circle. I've met him, but that's not something you'd walk up and say, hey, are you still with? But I've heard that they're not, but I don't know. That's kind of, I'm out of the loop on that deal, so I don't know. I was in the Philippines 2 years ago, James. How'd you like it, James? Farrell in the Philippines, howdy. I'll be there in, is that 36 days. Hell yeah. I'll be, you might just miss me because about 36 days we'll be, I think we fly out on the 3rd. We fly out of Dumageddon on the 3rd, flying into Cebu. Then on the 4th, we're on to Phuket, Thailand. Then Bangkok. Then Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And folks, I still ain't got us a ride home. I keep looking at these plane tickets, thinking they're going to go down. They're going to go down. Of course, they hadn't went down yet, and I'll probably be mad. I'll probably mess around long enough, they'll probably go up. But I got to thinking, I said, I'm not in no real big hurry because I usually don't even like to plan that far in advance, and so I'm just like, hell with it. Hell, we might get over there and want to stop somewhere else. So if they go down, I'll lock it in. But I'll probably wind up being pissed off because they go up because I'm gonna fart around long enough. Trolling, fishing. Oh, y'all talking to each other. Congrats. Where are you landing? Okay, you asking Farrell that? It was good. I stayed there for a month. Hey, I like it. I like it. Where'd that go? What did I miss? I'll get with you when you get back. We can grab a meal and talk. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. I think as of now, I think we're going to get back around the 20th. I think 20th of April, and then I'll be flying out on the 28th to go to Oklahoma for a month. But I'll either catch you in between there or catch you when I get back because I'll definitely be back. And Mindanao, I've been to Dapitan, Ozamas, Dipolog, Pagadian, and Davao. Davao is very clean and nice. Filipinos are very friendly, and Filipinos like to see foreigners. I know that's right. And we like to see those too. On Filipina wife to be able to stay in the PH. On a Filipina wife to be able to stay. I don't know what did I miss something there? On a Filipina wife to be able to stay in the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines. Okay, James. Congratulations. Folks, I'm drinking this Rot Gut. I say Rot Gut. This San Miguel sugar-free coffee. I think that's what's had. Where's it? I think that's what's had my old kidneys barking at me here lately. Looks like you have a filter too. What do you mean? Filtered out for my first message. Yeah, if it does, it's something YouTube's doing. It's not me. I don't. One, I'm not smart enough to set up all that, and two, I wouldn't want to filter you out anyway. What did it say? I apologize for that. I'm not trying to filter out no messages. I promise you. I was saying. Must be complicated. On a Filipino wife to be able to stay in the must be complicated. To be dependent. I'm trying to piece all this together, but I'm not picking up what you're trying to ask her. Your message was deleted also. Is it maybe some? I don't know. I know YouTube sometimes will, if there's like keywords or something. When it was, did you have any of that in there? Or, like I say, I don't do that. I don't filter them, but it may be something YouTube's doing. Sure enough. Yeah, it has to be because I don't filter them. Like I say, I wouldn't be smart enough, and I don't know why you would. We're just. Toro, you or Urso, put all that in one. I'm trying to. You got about 6 or 7 messages in here. Then you split up with her. He asked about your MPR and his wife. Yes, they split up about a year. Oh, are y'all talking about? Okay, Mike's Phil. Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, glad you're back, Oliver. I couldn't understand what was going on, but yeah. Like I say, I don't know what's going on in their relationship. I have enough trouble keeping up with mine, so I have heard people say that, but I didn't know if that was, some people like to troll and some people, and that's just one of the things I'd never. I was just saying, stay busy, hike to the falls or the beach. Yeah, I'm gonna get my ass in some shape. I split it up to see what's getting filtered out and what isn't. Did you figure it out? Yeah, I was trying to follow. I was like, blah, blah, blah. It's kicking off in Mexico. Expats will need a new place to go. Yeah, that's what I started this deal talking about, Kevin. It's got crazy over there. There's they're burning it down. Hell, I heard this morning that they've killed 73 people already. All these people from the United States are stuck there. They're telling them stay indoors, lock down or whatever. Hell, I noticed that a lot of the airports ain't even running. I know Air Canada, and there was several others that just said they're not flying in or out. I guess they're afraid to. Well, I'm pretty sure I seen an airplane on fire. I don't troll, but I do watch the live chats in my draws. Yeah, me and you both. Me and you both. But I hadn't watched any of his in a while. Like I say, after I came over here and got here a while, hell, if they're live, I usually don't watch them because it's usually, I'm over here, so I don't watch near as much as I used to. Thanks to Ferrell in the Philippines. Yes, got the answer to my question. Well, sorry, Urso. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I was trying to follow. I'm a little slow. Are you still thinking about buying a big scooter? That's Rick. Yeah, I am. But it won't be. If I do, it'll probably be when I get back. I'm not going to pull the trigger on nothing before I get back. But I just, I thought I was about to override the scooter here, but I can just get around so much easier. Hell, me and Trina, we jump on it and go all the time now. Hell, I went to immigration yesterday, like I said, had her on the back, and I just think it'd be easier with a bigger scooter. So, but it's nothing, no big. Whether I do or don't, I'd like to upgrade, but at the same time, I'm no further than I'm going. It probably don't make no sense for me to upgrade, but because hell, Valencia, Darwin, I guess Darwin's probably the furthest that we ever go on it, I should say. So it really don't make any sense. But if me and Aaron ever plan on doing that little, what do you call it, latte, Turinol latte, it'd probably make more sense to get a bigger bike or something like that. Mike says, "Have you considered another country to visit while I'm there?" Well, Mike, I'll be going to Thailand and Cambodia. That's where me and you went last time you was here. Right after you leave, I'm headed to Thailand. Gonna head up there on the 4th. We're going to Phuket and then Bangkok, and then I'm gonna try Phnom Penh this time. Me and you went to Siem Reap, but I'm gonna try Phnom Penh just because I've never been, and all these other places I've been. So I'm like, I need to go somewhere I've never been. So I picked Phnom Penh, and that's as far as I've. Why did you choose the Philippines versus Brazil or Colombia? Language, definitely language. Yeah, Colombia was on my top 3, but after being in Mexico as long as I was, I'm just, like I said, I'm not very smart. I lived with Mexicans, and Alejandra, she was preaching that to me every day. You need to learn. And she's 70 years old, folks, and she was actually picking up English quicker than I was picking up Spanish. I learned very little, and when I'd go back, hell, the next time I'd go is like I was having to start over again, folks. It's something that if you don't use it a lot, you lose it. Or I do. I wasn't smart enough for it to soak in. So language was definitely a big factor. That, and then Colombia, like I said, it's just got so damn dangerous. And I asked Mike. He was there. He wasn't there for 24 hours, and he done lost. What'd you lose, Mike? $800 or $700, or they picked his pocket right out of the bat. Set him up. Had somebody distract him while they picked your pocket and all that shit. Not to mention that if you're trying to date one over there, hell, I mean, there's don't get me wrong. There's some good looking ones over there, but you got to worry about them slipping you drugs and knocking you out and stealing you blind and all that crap. Good morning, Brent from Valencia. Good morning, Randy. Randy, are you the one that come see me and I was asleep? Tarina told me that somebody coming. I thought she says it was Randy. Is this the right Randy or is it a different one? It seems there's less bullshit in the Latin countries than in the Philippines for those who speak the language. Yeah, I'm sure there is. Well, I don't know. You don't have to worry about, cartels blowing shit up in the Philippines. I mean, there's lots of shit you got to put up with, chickens and dogs and little stuff, but you don't have to worry about dying so much over here as, just over a pissed off drug cartel or whatever. Don't have to worry about El Chapo or Pablo Escobar or none of them people. So, but yeah, if you spoke the language, hell, I'm gonna be honest with you, hell, I'd probably still be in Mexico. Hell, Brenda, she set me up with a good old gal over there, and we kind of dipped a toe, if you will, tested the waters, whatever. But it was just so hard to communicate, with both of us on our translators, and it just, man, I wish I would have picked up on that Spanish a long time ago, and like I say, I'd probably still be there. But I didn't. We can go island hopping if you want. You can pick, and I'll pay for it. Well, it may take you up on that. I don't know where we'd want to go, though. I really don't. We'll figure it out, though, Mike. Good morning, Mike and Glad. Good morning. Yeah, that was you, Randy. Well, I'm sorry. Like I say, hell, I got my damn days and nights mixed up, and hell, I was staying up all night and then going to sleep about 5 or 6 in the morning, and just all out of whack. I wouldn't go to Mexico. Hell no, I wouldn't go either. Probably for the next month or two, or for a while. I don't know. They've stirred up a bunch of shit over there, so who knows? And it's not like it's going to be they killed the boss, so this deal's going to be over. No, hell no. They killed the boss, and now it's going to fork off like you cut the head off of something that grows 2 in its place, or it'll grow 2 or 3. So it's not going to be better for a long time. And that's what sucks is, it is definitely run by the cartels. Hell, I heard an interview of the guy that they killed or whatever actually called the cops and was saying to calm down or stand down or whatever. So he was cussing this cop out. Said, you better get off my ass. Y'all accept my money. And the cop was like, yes sir, no problem, no problem. Like, I've always felt safe in the Philippines, but Mexico and Central America, not so much. I hadn't been around Central America. That was always, going to be my next destination till I finally got to come to the Philippines, and now I'm just not as interested as I used to. But man, when I was in Mexico, I was like, I'm hitting Brazil, I'm hitting Argentina, I'm hitting all these, and I met a bunch of good people from those countries. So I know the people are amazing. It's just the damn language barrier, and that's the reason why I picked the Philippines and not Thailand or Vietnam or whatever. It's just the language. It's just the language is worth so much over here, folks. It just really is. For an old fart like me, that's like I say, too damn dumb or slow to pick up on a new language. If you're going to Mexico, go to the Yucatan. Yeah, but I seen they're in the red zones too. I seen they've even got like all of Quintana Roo. I say Yucatan. They've got Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, Cancun, and then they've got, of course, the Puerto Vallarta. There was several, and of course this is from the State Department or whatever. So I'm sure they're being overly cautious, but can't hardly be overly cautious when you see shit blow up like this. And they've made it a point to, usually foreigners were kind of off limits, or supposed to be, because they didn't want it screwing up tourism, because they make so much money off tourism. But that's totally out of the question. They're like, screw it, we don't care if you're foreigners. I'm sure they're going after who they're going after, but I definitely wouldn't feel safe as a foreigner. Yes sir, I'm trying to go back there again. that's Randy. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, hell, she told me, said somebody got, and I remembered you hitting me up or whatever, and she told me it was Randy. So I thought shit. Hmm. Pearl and Philip, I'm headed to Port Vallarta this weekend. Prices show. I thought you was serious. I don't know if there'll be plenty of rooms available or not because everybody's hunkered down in theirs. They may be double booked. You know, the one's supposed to be there this week and next week. New cartel heads usually do something crazy. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'd be afraid of. I really would. Somebody's got to make a name for themselves. Or crazy part is I'd never even heard of this guy. You know, and of course it's all the number one drug lord in Mexico. Well, I'd never heard of him, but and I thought the main cartel was that Sinaloa cartel, but I don't know. Please tell Trina thank you for subscribing to my. I will, and hell, I'll get on there and do the same. They launder their money through tourist locations. Absolutely, sure they do. Yeah, they. If they have to worry about it at all, because hell, you know, hell, their whole government runs on that corruption. So I don't know how much they actually hide it or. My son and brother is going to the Philippines in the middle of March. Sweet, sweet. Whereabouts he going? Do you know? You know, James, where he's headed? Like I say, I hope he got a better deal than me. These damn plane tickets have kind of got ridiculous, or I think they are. I used to could find a one-way trip over here, no problem, for 600, and it was about 800 after you upgraded your seats and all that stuff. But hell, I've seen them. You know, you can still find the budget airlines for that, but by the time, if you got bags or any of that crap, they wanna hit you for like $100 a bag and all that crap for the cheap places, or the cheap, say your Zip Airs or your Starluxes are the best. So far, every time I type something in, it's Eva Air, Cathay Pacific, which I've heard good things about both of them, and maybe Korean Air. That's the ones they want to put you on. But I paid a little more because I wanted a direct flight to the United States and then a direct flight to Oklahoma City. So mine's only a one stop, and as soon as I get off that plane, and I think I fly to Seattle, Manila to Seattle, and then I'll stay the night in Seattle, and the next morning I'll jump on and do direct to Oklahoma City. So that part was worth a little more. I just don't know if it was worth as much more as I wind up. Charlie says I land in Dumaguete March 9th. We'll be staying at the Essentia. Okay. Essentia, I think that's where me and Trina ate. I think that's right across the street from the place that put the box on my motorbike, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like a pretty nice little hotel, really did. We didn't have nothing going on. We needed to kill some time, so we walked over there, and I think that's where we went. So Essentia, and went in there and ate lunch. See, everything revolves around food over here, folks. It really does. Anytime I go out, first thing I want to do, if I want to socialize or whatever, it's all got to do with food or coffee, and I can't really have coffee over here because they want to put sugar in it. I need to get a hold of my buddy in Cancun or whatever, make sure he's all right. Last I talked to him was probably 2 weeks ago, and he was really considering coming to the Philippines. That's the only problem. It's just so damn hard to get here. But once you're here, you're golden. Davao bound. I hate the cold. Miss the street food there. I've never been to Davao, Oliver, but it's on my list. It's definitely on my bucket list. Well, we got 56 people in the chat. Got 36 people with the thumbs up. I appreciate each and every one of you. First, James says first. I've already forgot what you asked, James. Let's see if I can't go back and find it. I don't know where you went. What are you planning, Mike? I see. Are you are you going to be able to sit still long enough here? Are you going to be able to live the island life, or are you going to want to be on the go like you? Folks, if y'all don't know Mike, if y'all didn't see us traveling around Thailand and Cambodia, I can't keep up with him. He is going all the shitting time. I mean, he is go. I'll talk to him on the phone, and he'll sit there and be pacing the whole time he's talking to me, whole time. So we might have to. The first island. There's Tarina. I don't know. She brought me some coconut water, folks. Is that coconut water? I didn't know she was gone, folks. Rangers are looking decent in spring training, but again, it's spring training. I hope so. I love me some Texas Rangers. Matter of fact, when I go back, I'm gonna try to hit a ball game or two. I was supposed to. Last time I flew in, we were supposed to catch a ball game, and I got hung up in Houston. They canceled my damn flight, and I was going to fly from Houston to Dallas, and my kids was going to meet me in Dallas, and we was going to go to the game, and my brother was going to meet us there. We was all going to go to the damn.
Good morning, darling.
Good morning.
I have water for you.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Randy said to tell you, thank you for subscribing to his YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I did. I look at the comment and then I look at his channel.
Ah.
Right.
He said, thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, but I flew into Houston, and they canceled my damn flight. I don't know. They blamed it. I don't know what they blamed it on, but I was so aggravated. And then people with American Airlines, you talk about no help. You walk up to the counter and it's just like you're a pain in their ass for them to have to help you. It's not, flying is not what it used to be, folks. It just really, it used to be one of those things that you felt high class or it was luxurious to travel. Now it's like not that way on American Airlines. Come to Below Butch along the pole, hang out with me and Mark Blackard next month. I may do it. I may have to catch some Overstay Road. That's his old stomping grounds. He back living there now. But the last video, I didn't watch it. Like I say, I'm in the Philippines, so I don't watch much anymore. He was one of the first channels. I followed him for so damn long. Every night I was praying to get to come to the Philippines. I'd watch him get drunk and cook out on his grill and talk, how mad he was for being locked down in the Philippines or whatever. But I really enjoyed his channel. Hate to say this, but I really enjoyed him when he was drinking, and after he quit drinking, he wasn't near as funny no more. But he used to get wound up. But I did, and we just barely missed each other too, because he finally decided to do a little. He finally left the Philippines and went to the United States, and then decided he was going to drive across, all the way across the United States. And I was living in Amarillo at the time, and he was looking for a place to stay. And I was just going to have him come stay with us or whatever. But by the time he made it to Texas, I'd flew to Cancun to go down there for, I don't know if it was my first time, second time, third time, I can't remember. But we just kept missing each other. And I've been to Angeles City. I'd go to that Poppy's, he's big buddies with Poppy or whatever. What's his name? Eric? I figured I'd run onto him there, and I never did. Heard Guatemala was good. Hello, Brent. Hello, Chuck. How you doing? Kevin, I was stationed there years ago. Good area. That's one of my. That's on my list too. I want to check out Subic. I want to check out Along the Pole. Like I say, I used to go for a walk with King Marcos every day. You know, he'd walk across that bridge and stare at the fish in that river, and just looked like my kind of place. I take the Eva Hello Kitty plane. Is it a Japanese or is it Korean? I was thinking it was Korean. Is it Japanese? Hello Kitty? Ain't that where that shit's from? He's moving back. I'm not supposed to say. Well, I wondered that. Oliver, those must have been the day. That's what I think too. I think, folks, we missed the Philippines by at least 20, 30, 40 years. I had one of my best friends' dad was over here back during the Vietnam War, and he said it was just awesome. He told me, he said, "Yeah, better look out if you see a bunch of kids that look like me." It's because I was over here during the Vietnam War or whatever. Indeed, I'm going back. We've been on here an hour already. See, folks, time just flies when I'm on here. Time flies. What time? What? 9 o'clock. Well, folks, I'm got my immigration out of the way. Do any of y'all do your immigration online? Aaron, he did his online. He keeps trying to tell me to do it, and I said, everybody I've talked to has only been able to do it like one time online, and I keep saying I'm not gonna do it online because I may need to fall back on that. But I've heard a lot of people doing it online, but it only working once. I even watched a video of Mark walking you all the way through with it, and I think he even said it wouldn't go through. So I've never done the visa extension online because of that, thinking, well, I've got an ace in the hole because I hadn't used mine. But Aaron got over here, and the first thing he did was got on there and was able to do his 29-day extension on there. And so, but for some reason I went yesterday, which was the 23rd, and they told me not to come back and pick up my passport till the 6th. I'm thinking that's never took no 2 weeks, so I don't know what's going on. But it was busier than shit too, so that might have had something to do with it. Well, folks, anybody else got anything that we need to cuss or discuss? If not, I'm going to get off here and try to get up off my ass and go put in some steps, see if I can't get my steps in. I've been trying to do the 10,000 steps. Like I said, I'm bad about doing it once and then taking about 2 or 3 days off. I've had 2 or 3 days off, and so I need to get my ass back in the, make it an everyday deal instead of every 3-day deal. Plus, I've got a damn mosquito that keeps sneaking around here and biting me right on my hip. It's pissing me off. But if that's it, folks, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I appreciate Oliver Russ. Appreciate School of Fenris. Hey, y'all made our day. We'll put that to use. We'll go get us a coffee, and then I'll take the Filipino out to eat. And okay, 10K is nothing. Come on, Brent. I do 20. 10 is plenty for me, especially when I got time. I know I walked 3 miles, and I think that was only like 7,000 steps or something like that. And I'm thinking, damn, that's already 3 miles, and I was wore plumb out, folks. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I'm good. Step into the fridge, and then I'm done. That's what got me this where I'm at, Kevin. I can highly relate to that. So, School of Fenris later. Hey, appreciate you. You take care, everybody. Like I said, appreciate everybody coming out, and I guess we'll catch you in the next one. If I can figure out how to turn this thing off. Anyway, folks, peace.